And they're off. Valiant Hillary breaks on top on the far outside. Wake at Noon is there. Left Bank comes on through. Bevo is there along with Millen Collin. Those 5 scrambling for the lead down the backstretch, and More Than Ready is 6th. Up the backstretch, it's Wake at Noon coming through to get a narrow lead. Millen Collin battles on in between horses. Left Bank right up there on the outside. Those 3 through a fast and furious first quarter of 21 4/5 seconds. Valiant Hillary makes a move as they approach the half-mile pole. Up in the third now, Millen Collin is back to 4th. Bevo and More Than Ready is the trailer as they hit the far turn. Wake at Noon and Left Bank going at it on the turn. Wake at Noon on the inside, Left Bank on the outside. 2 lengths back to Valiant Hillary. Bevo is running 4th, drawing within 4 lengths of the lead. More Than Ready getting underway from the back of the pack. Millen Collin is now the trailer. They ran a half in 44 4/5 seconds. The field turns for home. Left Bank, Wake at Noon continue to do battle at the top of the stretch. Farther back, More Than Ready on the far outside is coming with his run now. And then it's Valiant Hillary, Millen Collin toward the inside, and Bevo 1 furlong to go. And here's More Than Ready. More Than Ready takes the lead as they come down to the finish, followed by Valiant Hillary. More Than Ready sprinting today. 7 furlongs in 1:22 2. Valiant Hillary was 2nd. Millen Collin came again to be 3rd.
Here at Saratoga, making his way to the winner's circle.
And Todd Fletcher, of course, will bring us impeachment coming up in the Travers a little later, but I think More Than Ready answered a pretty significant question here. He might be better at 7 furlongs than he is at 1 1/16 or 1 1/8, and he's pretty good at those distances because he wins this race despite the kind of trip you'd like to see. Now, the rail at Saratoga has not been good, but on the other hand, you don't want to be 8 wide turning into the stretch either. And that's about the only position that Pat Day could find himself in with a reasonable open lane here turning for home. More Than Ready doesn't want to be that far back early usually, but because of the speed of the others he was, and yet he still kicks strongly, goes by stablemate Left Bank. And More Than Ready emphatically the winner here of the King's Bishop.
Well, he had never won a race past 7 furlongs, and it seems that 7 furlongs is right up his alley as More Than Ready, the winner of today's King's Bishop.
And they're off. Say, Florida Sandy breaks on top, but there goes Squirtle Squirt. And Squirtle Squirt is up to take the lead in the first 100 yards. Say, Florida Sandy is running in 2nd. Left Bank, 3rd on the outside. Then Big E.E. followed by Alanan. And the trailer is Sly Old Buck. And they're chasing Squirtle Squirt down the backstretch. Got a 2-length lead. Left Bank 2nd on the outside. The opening quarter in 22 3/5 seconds. Say, Florida Sandy 3rd on the rail. 2.5 lengths back to Big E.E. and Alanan. Sly Old Buck trails the field. Squirtle Squirt scampers clear by 3 on the far turn. Left Bank chasing 2nd. Say, Florida Sandy is 3rd. Squirtle Squirt gets a half in 44 2. Will arrive at the top of the stretch with a 3-length lead over Left Bank. It's another 3 lengths back to Say, Florida Sandy. Then Big E.E. Alanan, Sly Old Buck, Squirtle Squirt. Jerry Bailey now asking for a bit more from Squirtle Squirt. At the 8th pole there by 2. Left Bank is bearing down on him. Squirtle Squirt bracing for Left Bank. The diminutive Squirtle Squirt trying to hold off the oncoming Left Bank. And Left Bank got by him. Left Bank takes the lead 50 yards out to win it by a neck.
Horses making their way to the track for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Let's recheck the odds for you. Extra heat at 14 1. Squirtle Squirt 9. Kona Gold 4 1. Caller 1 at 12 and Delaware Township 11 1. Full field of 14 for the race. Left Bank 11. El Corredor at 4 1. 8 1. Mozart swept overboard at 9 2. And 2 long shots, Peeping Tom and Hook and Ladder. And they'll make the turn, and we'll take a look at the Post parade for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Number 1 Extra Heat, 3-year-old filly, purchased for $5,000. Filly safely kept, and Desert Stormer had won the other 2 sprints held at Belmont. Extra Heat, a perfect 10 for 10 at 6 furlongs, but against males for the first time. Bet on Sunshine is the 2 and is at a gray beard. He's 9 years old, 3rd in the sprint last year and in '97. His owner, 71-year-old David Holloway, has Bet on Sunshine racing scenes painted on the side of his van. Number 3, Squirtle Squirt. Blair Landsman, son of the owner, named this 3-year-old colt after his favorite Pokemon character, Squirtle. Bobby Frankel has trained him into the nation's top 3-year-old sprinter, but 0 for 2 against older horses. Number 4 is Kona Gold, the defending champion, his 4th start in the sprint. Last year he gave Alex Solis his first Breeders' Cup victory after 31 straight losses. Kona Gold lost his last start, the ancient title, but the first time he'd tasted defeat since March of 2000. 5, Al-Anon. Breeder Arthur Hancock loves to write music and sing. Made a country album in the 80s, and earlier this year a bluegrass CD. The title song, Sunday Silence, the name of his horse of the year. Al-Anon hasn't won since May. 6 furlongs might be a little short. 6, Caller One. Co-owner Carolyn Chapman's son James trains this 4-year-old gelding, 4th in last year's sprint. He's good at 6 furlongs, but has raced only 3 times this year and not since July. 7 is Delaware Township, a Florida-bred 5-year-old trained by Ben Perkins. 10th in the sprint last year after winning the Forest Hills. Comes into 2001 with the same prep, hoping for better results. Has won 3 of 4 at Belmont. 8 is Left Bank, who also runs well at Belmont. He's 4 for 5. Michael Tabor paid $600,000 for him. Scored his first Grade 1 win in his last start, the Vosburgh, at 7 furlongs, probably his best distance. 9, 5-Star Day. 30-year-old Bo Greeley, whose brother John owns part of the horse, hopes for a better result than last year when he was bumped at the start, finished last. Only 2 starts this year, the most recent in August. 10 is El Corredor. Hal Earnhardt of Arizona owns what he calls the world's largest auto retailer. He hopes this Bob Baffert-trained colt can truck on into the winner's circle. He's won 7 of his last 8. The only loss to Fusaichi Pegasus in last year's Jerome, and 2 for 2 at this distance. 11 is Mozart, and like the composer, he's been precocious from the start. The Irish-bred, owned, ridden, and trained 3-year-old, regarded as Europe's top sprinter. He's been off the board only once in 9 career starts, but has never raced on dirt. 12 is Swept Overboard with Craig Delassie. Former college professor Paul Retta made a lot of money in the home mortgage business, spent $700,000 of it on Swept Overboard, who beat Ancient Title, who beat Kona Gold in the Ancient Title. 13 is Peeping Tom. Vietnam vet Luis Malazzo claimed this horse, his first, for $40,000 last year. He's earned more than $700,000 since then. Peeping Tom 4th behind Delaware Township in the Forest Hills. And Hook and Ladder, the hunch bet of the day, as we honor the fire department heroes of September 11th, trained by John Kimball, who has a veterinary degree but is now a top New York trainer. Hook and Ladder on a 4-race losing ladder at 90 to 1. Long shots on the outside. A lot of speed there down toward the inside. Extra Heat. Squirtle Squirt's got a lot of speed. And the defending champion Kona Gold, looked for him to come from somewhere near the back of the pack early. He's got a powerful late run. There in the gate. And they're off. Extra Heat springs out of the gate. And Caller One is flashing his speed too. 5-Star Day joins the fray, and Squirtle Squirt right there running in 4th. Left Bank is 5th. Hook and Ladder 6th on the outside by 2. Delaware Township is now running in 7th. El Corredor is 8th. Aladdin is 9th. Kona Gold is under a busy ride, but he's dropped back to 10th. Mozart off last, and he's now 11th. Peeping Tom Swept Overboard, and Bet on Sunshine, the last of them all. He's 15 lengths from the lead. They tore through that opening quarter in 22 2/5 seconds. And Extra Heat is flooding her speed here, coming to the top of the stretch, holding off Caller One for the moment. Squirtle Squirt is just in behind them. 5-Star Day is kicking in on the far outside. The whip is out on Left Bank. Swept Overboard is coming up the inside, and Delaware Township coming with a resolute rally down the middle of the track. It is still Extra Heat. Here comes Squirtle Squirt. Caller One on the outside. Squirtle Squirt. Caller One. Extra Heat. A driving finish. Here's the winner. Squirtle Squirt has won it over Extra Heat. Close the third between Swept Overboard and Caller One. So it is Squirtle Squirt winning it here. The Bobby Frankel jinx is done. Jerry Bailey aboard the winner in 108 and 2. And who would have guessed that it would be Squirtle Squirt that would break the Frankel Ophir string in the Breeders' Cup? When all else fails, just rely on favored Flute and favored You. Taste defeat in the earlier races. Frankel was thinking probably that he may never get one, and Squirtle Squirt breaks the Frankel string. Watching from ever for Bobby Frankel until Squirtle Squirt gets home. David Landsman, the owner of this 3-year-old colt by Marquetry out of Lost the Code by Lost Code. Bred in Kentucky by Dr. Audrey Narducci, trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden by Jerry Bailey. And speed held up. The speed horses were there. And Squirtle Squirt just beating the filly. Extra Heat. It looked for a while like a filly would take another sprint at Belmont. But here he is, the 3-horse Jerry Bailey, getting Squirtle Squirt home. A $30,000 Keeneland yearling named after a Pokemon character. Squirtle Squirt, of all horses, breaks the Bobby Frankel Breeders' Cup jinx.
They're in the gate.
Not ready yet. We're not ready yet, I'll tell you what. Not ready yet. Get tied on.
And they're off. Wake at Noon breaks on top. Burning Roma gets off to a good start. Crafty CT is there. So too Left Bank in a firm success, who's down toward the inside. Crafty CT is emerging with a narrow lead. Left Bank, though, is right there with him. Wake at Noon on the outside third. And then it's a firm success, who's between horses fourth. And the Wildcat right up there and holds his spot at the Bailey's fifth. Swept overboard and behind the leaders is sixth. He's only about 3 lengths from the lead. Burning Roma broke well, but he's now been taken back to run in seventh, followed by Voodoo and Aldebaran. It's a long way back, a huge margin to Gray Memo, who's lost contact with the field. The opening quarter was contested in 22-2. And a crush of horses entering the far turn together here. A firm success has come away with a narrow lead. Left Bank is right with him. A dazzling half of 44 3/5 seconds. It's a firm success dueling on the far turn with Left Bank. Crafty CT just to their outside. Swept overboard, comes on through. Swept overboard, comes through on the inside. Then it's a break of 3 lengths back to Aldebaran as the field turns for home. Swept overboard is swept to the lead with a dramatic move. And he pulls away at the top of the stretch by 4. They ran 3/4 in 1:08 3. Aldebaran coming with a late charge on the inside. Crafty CT is third. A firm success is fading in fourth, and they're coming down to the finish. And it is Swept Overboard, the upset winner in the Met Mile. And he was sparkling today. Swept Overboard wins by 5 emphatic lengths over Aldebaran. Crafty CT checked in third. A firm success was a well-beaten fourth. The final time for this year's Met Mile was 1:33-1. In the gate, ready for the start of the 75th Whitney Handicap. And they're off. St. Bear and Left Bank break together, and St. Bear is the quicker of the two. He beats Left Bank to the first turn. Left Bank sits back second. And Street Cry is just outside of Lido Palace, unshaded down toward the inside. Macho Uno trails the field as St. Bear goes on with it, and he will run unopposed in the early stages here. Left Bank and Johnny Velasquez have conceded the lead through the first quarter mile to St. Bear, and he had to run fast to get that first quarter in 23 seconds flat. It's a long way back. It's 8 lengths back to Jerry Bailey and Street Cry, well off the pace of St. Bear. And now Lido Palace has moved outside and past Street Cry. Lido Palace is now third ahead over Street Cry. At the back of the pack, Macho Uno and Unshaded. And those two are about a dozen lengths from St. Bear, who continues to sail through. Oh, a wicked opening half, 45 4/5 seconds. A grueling opening half mile that St. Bear has run, and there's 4 furlongs remaining. Left Bank is 3 lengths behind this blistering pace. It's another 6 lengths back, and Jorge Chavez motivating Lido Palace. They're running third. Street Cry is coming through on his inside, and he now gets past Lido Palace, and they're coming to the top of the stretch and gaining on St. Bear, whittling away at the lead 3/4 of a length. Here comes Left Bank.
Street Cry is closing in, and Lido Palace on the outside. Macho Uno 6 lengths behind. It's now Left Bank in front, and Street Cry is in full stride. But so too is Left Bank, who comes to the 8th pole in front by 2. Street Cry is desperately trying to reel him in. Lido Palace doing his best, but he's 3rd. Macho Uno is 4th, and it will be Left Bank coming down to the line. A final surge from Street Cry and Lido Palace. Left Bank has won. Left Bank has won. Brilliantly ridden today by Johnny Velasquez. He won by length. It was very close for second between Lido Palace and Street Cry. The final time was 1:47.04, equaling the track record.